All right, so we are ready right now. We're just getting the YouTube live stream on. I've just hit the live stream button on, and we are live, guys. So welcome back to another episode of Box Mining here. It's Monday, the 29th. We're approaching the end of January here. Very exciting times ahead. And boy, was this market crazy with GameStop going almost a 100x in a month, right? Yeah, so lots of attention on markets, and there's a lot of discussion right now about retail. And so that was like a insane crazy explosion that happened in the traditional stock markets, right? So that was in equity markets. GameStop just blew up to the moon, really. And it really set crypto on fire too. So that kind of there's a collateral effect of that. You see something like Dogecoin pushing up 400%. Holy crap! It's like it's insanity. So we'll complete that story today. We'll kind of talk about everything that's going on. Yesterday, I released a video on what I thought about GameStop and what was going on with GameStop. So that was kind of interesting. I mean, I did tell you guys that I'm not buying any GameStop. That was good timing too, because I pretty much released a video right at the top, right? So yesterday's video was this one, why I'm not going to buy GameStop. And yeah, I mean, it was such a good play, honestly. We'll talk about the story and everything. If you guys haven't caught up with the video, I'll catch up on that. I was actually reading the comments today. A lot of people are angry, saying that, I missed the message, but it wasn't. It was the right play for me, and I love the controversy there. I knew the visual video was going to be slightly controversial because obviously a lot of people wanted to get in on GameStop, even though it's 100x, right? I can still see people like just dying to get in, which is interesting. Yeah, tons of stuff going. Not financial advice, of course, but I was saying the reasons, personal reasons of why I wasn't jumping in. But I was congratulating everyone who really won in GameStop too, because I felt it was. I know the media portrays it as, David versus Goliath, retail versus institutional investors, but it was really a case of catching someone that was overextended, over aggressive, and then you punish them severely for it. This is kind of like almost a sports analogy, right? When your opponent is making the right play, but they're out of position, they're too aggressive, you should always punish. That's always been with every single sport, every single activity, you should always punish. And that was a very clear case where certain institutional investors, certain hedge funds were definitely out of position, way over leverage, and they got punished hard. They lost billions of dollars, and that went straight to the hands of a lot of people on Wall Street's bets. So congrats to those guys that was doing crazy stuff. So we'll talk about everything that's happening out here. I think this is a really great time as well, because there's definitely we also see that boomer war, right? I've been watching news on this extensively because I felt like just getting the hang of the coverage on how these events, these major financial plays are covered on mainstream media gives me a lot of information, right? Like we had some boomers talking about, oh, this is just like a total scam. Oh, it's not, right? You can't take these extremist views. We also have people saying, oh yeah, it's a sticking up to the Wall Street guys. It's also not. It's just a very good financial play, right? It was an excellent counter play that just worked out perfectly. And I felt like the media coverage was very bizarre, but at the same time, I'm kind of understanding that too, right? I know why they want to do this, because the markets, they always love emotion. They love, like David versus Goliath. They love that motion, sticking up to that guy. But at the same time, I think something in crypto I'm training myself to do is understanding that, but also understanding, like for me, right, what is the truth behind this? It's extremely interesting. But anyways, uh, that's gonna be today's video for you guys today. Definitely welcome in. Definitely, I'd love to hear what your views on GameStop is. Did you guys get in on GameStop very early? Did you get in at $4, $10, and unload at 400? That would be kind of crazy. If you got in at $5 and unloaded at 400, I mean, congrats to you. Congrats. Hats off to you, good sir. So anyways, tell me what you guys think about GameStop and everything that's going on and how that's spilling over into crypto markets. I think this video is mainly focused on that. That's been the biggest action. That's been the biggest news of this week. And I see that, honestly, I feel like that's going to encourage a lot of more people to get to become aware of what's happening in financial world, and I think that's gonna be super crazy, super crazy. So, anyways, guys, yeah, let's get started. Tell me what you guys think, and let's hit the intro. All right, guys. Oops, that's an ugly picture of me. That's great. So we'll take a look at the cryptocurrency markets, and then we'll jump straight into the GameStop stuff because I cannot stop talking about that, and we'll talk about Doge Moon and everything. So let's get through the boring stuff. Let's get through the majors first. You know, not too much happening there, other than the fact that Ethereum's up like 20% in the last 7 days. So yeah, we're kind of recovering here, which is really great. We had a few scares throughout the week with both Bitcoin and Ethereum. They were moving down, and we're trying to see where the support is. And it turns out that there is very strong support on that front. So I'm definitely very happy to see that. One of the concerning things I was actually looking at just funding rates, something that was quite concerning, right, overall on the markets, that kind of did spook me a little bit, or at least made me a little bit concerned, was that the funding rates became negative, right? That means that there were more interest in taking shorts on Ethereum and Bitcoin. So there was actually some fear that, oh, maybe traders are moving away, but it seems like the case that we're going to go back to attack that strong resistance that we see. So we're rallying up to attack that point right now. So kind of like the situation was like there was scares throughout the week, but those scares are now alleviated. We're back in motion. We're back to attack those all-time highs again and to move on further on. So that's kind of the current narrative we have for Ethereum, and very much the same thing goes with Bitcoin as well. Let me just switch over to the Bitcoin charts, low chart, and put as Bitcoin over here. So just wait for me for a second here. All right. So let's just zoom in a little bit. So yeah, Bitcoin bounced hard off. So yeah, during 27th, 28th, we were trying to see how strong that support is here. You know, we tested it once, we tested it twice. In fact, this can be considered as a minor test as well. So we've been trying constantly to hit $30,000 and see if there is support, and there's always strong support. So for the past month or so, that's held very strong. So I'm actually pretty optimistic right now. I'm still drawing these bars here. So if you guys are new to the channel, the way I think about this is that right now Bitcoin is in this channel right now, right? And it's trying to break out, okay, accidentally, but it's trying to break out of the channel. Same with Ethereum, it's trying to break out of the channel. We're looking for that breakout because that's going to usher that new price targets. All right, so that's kind of the current situation that I'm taking it right now. I'm not looking too far deep into what's going to happen in the next few days, but I'm rather looking at this whole zone overall. Now, this market I feel is pretty cool right now. Like it's very ripe, and it's giving that support is actually very positive to me. So I'm actually very kind of I'm actually pretty excited, to be honest, about moving here. Also, one of the fears, obviously, is Chinese New Year, right? So Chinese New Year is coming on the 12th. That was a time when cryptocurrencies dipped aggressively in the past. It coincides with two kind of major events during February, which can cause crypto prices to go down. One of them is Chinese New Year, because Chinese traders, they're going to be off for a week. So a lot of times right before Chinese New Year, they tend to unload what they have. They also need to start handing out red packets and start gifting their friends money. It's a Chinese tradition. During New Year, we give people money. So they need some money to give to people and buy themselves nice stuffs, right? So there tends to be profit taking around that time, which leads to crypto prices moving down, especially Bitcoin. We've seen that historically. We saw that in 2016, 8%. We saw that in 2018, which was like a 40% dip, right? That was the one that caused people to be afraid. It was a straw that broke the camel's back in 2018, which caused a major bear market, right? So that was why I was a little bit careful of that time zone. But approaching Chinese New Year, we had a few scares, but it seems to be the case that there is strong support, which is a very positive sign. Also, the other reason why February is always down a little bit is because of U.S. tax season, right? So that's approaching the end of February. That's when the tax season hits. The U.S. government needs to collect a little bit of money. So both China and America, there's profit taking on both sides. So that's kind of funny, right? So that's what I was watching out for, but that strong support is actually very, very positive. Now we have the total insanity of Dogecoin. So Dogecoin just blew up, right? This is yet again where I think this is often disregarded, and I think this is something that I'm also guilty of at the start, right? It's a meme coin, and meme coins are on a world on their own. And sure, so in terms of tech, right? Dogecoin is not the craziest in terms of tech, but it's the craziest in terms of marketing, right? And I feel like that's kind of the narrative. If you actually look at all the narratives that's going on, especially with the GameStop and everyone's talking about these millennial investors and that stuff, right now, breaking down difficult concepts into easier, memeable, or shareable concepts is becoming one of the major key points of how to get people involved. Right. So I feel like, Dogecoin is perfectly memeable. I mean, got Elon Musk being the joking he's the CEO of Dogecoin. I mean, there's definitely a lot of interest here, and there's definitely a huge pump that we saw. But I mean, obviously, this is not based on fundamentals. This is based on the market conditions, right? If you look at it, so this is a kind of a spillover effect from Wall Street's bets, right? Wall Street bets guys, they know the power of memes. They know the power of the community acting together. They also know obviously the risks of it, so they'll downplay the risks of it, but that's kind of how the world works. But we definitely see that spill out. People definitely made a lot of money on GameStop. They're looking for the next GameStop, right? So that's kind of the whole trend that's going on. What can be the next one? So that's why we saw the targets for, say, on stock side, it was like BlackBerry, there was what was it? It's all these old ones, Bed Bath and Beyond, whatever, right? Which is crazy. And then we have the spillover on the Dogecoin side on Doge, especially something that something that can move aggressively, especially right now, is coins that have low cap. But even so, I think like Doge is not a low cap coin, right? It's got like a $5 billion market cap at this current point. So it's pretty impressive how that community can rally together. It's insane. It's insane. So Baka says, what is going on with Doge is definitely the effect of the Reddit communities rallying together. They're finding the targets that are easiest to move. And obviously, I feel like it also puts everything into scale as well, right? Whilst the market cap for Doge is very high, I would say the liquidity of it will not be as strong. So it's actually quite easy to move these coins up and down. So it's kind of insane right now. Doge is just nuts. It's one of those things that I feel like you have to admire the power of memeability and shareability of the internet. I think that's something that a lot of boomers won't get. I think I'm almost in the danger of that, right? I'm almost in the danger. I'm not as young as people think I am. I'm pretty old. I got my boomer moments here and there, but the ability of just breaking something down to something very shareable becomes very, very powerful. So yeah, that's the key. So Norman Primas Saga says, "Who knew Wall Street would be the catalyst for alt season?" I definitely agree with you there. So yeah, so it definitely feels like spillover. People who made major killings on GameStop, they're coming over. They're coming over to crypto and looking at cryptocurrency altcoins as well. I feel like there's a lot of that going on, and you definitely see that effect coming on the market. I mean, obviously, Doge is a very telltale sign of that. Beyond a telltale sign, right? So got Doge moving up 400%. We got Phantom 153%, Voyager almost doubling, Verge is up there too, right? So it's one of those most memeable ones, right? It's the ones that people love to hate and people love to love, and there's a religion around that. So we definitely see like the whole altcoin exposure that spill over from the GameStop winnings, right? And something that's very interesting, of course, with all this is human psychology too, right? I think it's that's actually super interesting because coming from my angle, right, as a scientist, I try to ignore emotions as much as possible, but at the same time, emotions plays a huge part, right? And some sort of realization that once people start making money, right, their next impulse is to make more, right? It's just this understanding, this immediate. It's like a knee reflex. Like, okay, GameStop's done. All right, what's next? All right, Dogecoin or something like that. So you definitely see that list going on. There's definitely a little bit of insanity, obviously. There's definitely a lot of hubris, and there's a lot of, I think there's a lot of, what's that word again? There's a fancy word you say for this, which is delusions of grandeur. That was the one. Delusions of grandeur here, where some people they made the money, they didn't know how lucky they are, and then they go straight into something else. That's just life, right? Previously, I would say, oh, we should stop. We should try to educate people on that. But I think like people want that, right? I think that's a raw emotion of it. I've learned that this is just part of human nature, right? So it's pretty WTF. It's unbelievable. Protolysis, as a scientist, the next crypto pump scientist explains. It's kind of interesting, right? Because science. It's actually really hard to do science and human psychology, and that's why most scientists avoid it. But looking at the results of this, is like very, very clear cut. Exactly what is going on. So, anyways, let me just catch up in the comments on GameStop and what everyone thinks about that and everything that's going on. I definitely feel like, okay, so throughout this whole episode of me watching what happened with GameStop, right? So, guys, definitely catch on the last video if you don't know my views on it. I think that the ugly face, you definitely want to see that ugly face telling you about it. Someone was commenting that they need some personal space. It's too close. This ugly punchable guy on the internet. But anyways, I'll give a brief recap to tell you guys what I think about it. For me, okay, the way I understood it, very, very quickly, I think the sports analogy works very well. GameStop, absolutely, I don't think their business model kind of works. They kind of lost their business edge. So the way I saw it is that kind of GameStop is like the Blockbuster of video games, right? It used to have a very strong retail presence when used games was very popular. They had very, very high margins. I've sold video games to GameStop before. You'll sell your game for like $15, and to flip it, the next day you'll see it on the shelves for 55, right? Like the jump from 15 to 55 is insane. That's how they used to make money. But everything's going digital now, right? So that's why they kind of lost their main primary source of income, right? That was like flipping used games. They're not losing it completely, but you can see that digital delivery is going to completely change that. Like PlayStation 5 has only digital version now, so no one's going to be able to buy discs anymore from GameStop anyways, right? So that's why the big mega hedge funds were shorting it, but because from the hedge funds perspective, right, they feel like GameStop can't grow. They want to short it. They want to borrow GameStop. They want to borrow GME from the exchange, and they just want to sell it because they're thinking that's going to go down. But it was overplayed. It was over aggressive, right? The number was around 140% oversold in shorts, which is crazy, right? These numbers should definitely not be allowed, right? It doesn't make any sense. How can you have something that's 140% oversold? So obviously some very smart people identified this. They knew that their opponents, which are the big mega hedge funds with billions of dollars staked into this, they were out of position. Their play may be right? Their strategy may be okay, but they were way too aggressive, which is why they punished them hard for it, right? So they all went and bought it, which forced a lot of these hedge funds to basically have to liquidate, right? They were basically forced to buy in the open market and return it to the exchange that they borrowed it from because they were just majorly underwater. That was kind of the situation, and that really paid off, right? People who did this, I'm not talking about ethics behind this. I mean, obviously some people knew what was going on, and they were they really punished their opponents for being out of position. So that was a major killing. But something that's kind of very interesting is it brought the I think this type of stuff happens a lot in crypto. I mean, we see these spikes up and down, and short squeezes, long squeezes happen almost all the time. But something that's very special about this is this kind of united everyone on a certain community, which is Wall Street's bets, the Reddit community. So it was like a kind of a uniting of people all going and attacking them, which is super, super interesting, right? So I found that was very interesting, and I think something that the other stuff that I found interesting, I can't speak today, that was very interesting is that it brought a lot of new people interest in trading. I think that's super, super cool. I think this is something that's very, very underrepresented. You know, I don't want to overquote this, but, you know, Robert Kiyosaki of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, you know, he makes a very good point that the current education system does not teach us about investing, about finance. You have the tools, right? They teach you about math, right? But they don't teach you about investing, right? This is actually scary, I would almost say. You know, the public, a lot of people don't have a good understanding of what's going on. And something that I learned myself in crypto, like I learned it the manual way, right? You get your hands dirty, but I'm definitely happy that I learned it. I mean, I feel so bad for a lot of my friends who do not know how to invest. They don't know how to risk manage. That just sucks, right? There's a lot of fear for them to go into investing. But the problem, of course, is that if you don't invest, you're going to stay poor forever, right? That's the sad part, right? The schools don't give you the tools to get rich, right? And I definitely agree with that argument there. So I feel like this, the whole thing with GameStop, with retail, I feel like it's definitely a wake up call to a lot of people, and I say, look, pay attention to what's going on. You can catch your opponent off guard, make some good plays here, have literacy in this space. It's just insane, right? So yeah. That's the kind of that's insanity going on. So that's my kind of take on it, and I feel like crypto is also another gateway to this, right? And like it's to a point where, you know, I say this a lot, but I'm very grateful that I got into the space the time I did, right? Being able to really come in at a serious time, at like 2017 was when I started making this channel, and you guys helped me a lot, super a lot, and that's why I'm really grateful for this. You know, being at the forefront of this is just amazing, right? Like we get to trade assets that, you know, unlike GameStop that has very little future, we get to trade Ethereum or like decentralized finance that has like crazy amounts of disruption that can happen in space. I'm just like, I'm super excited. I mean, not to shit on GameStop, okay? I don't want to shit on GameStop every day, but I feel like if you compare the potential of GameStop versus something like Ethereum, holy crap, right? Ethereum is just taking that to a whole new level. There are so many things that's being developed on Ethereum right now. And the way that we're using smart money, right? I think the best way to really talk about this is if you zoom out a level, right? Instead of going into the details of Ethereum, what it is, it's really about smart programmable money. That's what it is, right? And initially, a lot of people were like, oh, why do we need smart money? I think this is the same question that my mom asked when she was given a smartphone. She's like, oh, I have a dumb phone. I'm fine with that. You know, I have a Motorola, you know, flip phone, the StarTAC, whatever it's called again. I don't know. But she had, oh no, the Razor. She had the Razor. She had the Razor. I have a dumb phone. It's okay. I'm good with dumb stuff. But once you get the smartphone, it just takes your life to a whole new level. And that's what we're seeing with Ethereum. We're seeing with those smart contract platforms. And it's not just Ethereum, right? I don't want to just have prejudice here, but the power of creating something like Uniswap, an exchange that there's no governing body for the exchange. So stuff that's happening, right? Recently, you know, with the whole GameStop ordeal was that Robinhood suspended buys for GameStop, right? Like that stuff wouldn't happen. Like, you know, this crazy stuff where there's like a million limitations and there's like strong hard barriers to entry for some people, like that people should be free to do whatever they want, right? Like that's sort of like restriction imposed by Robinhood is just stupid, right? So I feel like that's something that we're coming up with DeFi, where we're creating this alternate system, right? And even if you look at the situation with Robinhood, I'm just going to show Ethereum really hard here, but I'm going to show this whole space very hard. But something that's very interesting is when I watched the interview with the guys at Robinhood and how they defended, just say Robinhood. Okay, so this was the one. I'm not sure. So, yeah, this was his talk. Let's see. Let me put my headphones on.
There are, frankly, as you know, a lot of angry customers out there and a lot of questions about what took place and the decisions that you made to limit so many of your customers' ability to buy stocks like GameStop. Questions about whether you have a liquidity problem, whether you're trying to protect them from themselves, whether Citadel did this. Explain what happened today.
Thank you for having me on the show again, Andrew. So what happened today was, as you pointed out, we had to make a very difficult decision. It's been a challenging day. We made the decision in the morning to limit the buying of about 13 securities on our platform. So to be clear, customers could still sell those securities if they had positions in them. And they could also trade in the thousands of other securities on our platform. So it was a difficult decision, and that's what we had to do as part of normal operations.
But explain then, why did you do this? Did the SEC call you and tell you you had to do this? Was there a problem inside the company in terms of liquidity, in terms of the amount of deposits that you had to put it in front to the exchanges? What led to this?
Sure, and let me explain exactly how this works. First of all, I want to address some of the misinformation that's been out there, because there's a lot of it. We absolutely did not do this at the direction of any market maker or hedge fund or anyone we route to or other market participants. The reason we did it was because Robinhood is a brokerage firm. We have lots of financial requirements, including SEC net capital requirements and clearinghouse deposits. So that's money that we have to deposit at various clearinghouses. So some of these requirements fluctuate quite a bit based on volatility in the markets, and they can be substantial in the current environment where there's a lot of volatility and a lot of concentrated activity in these names that have been going viral on social media. So we're really in unprecedented times, and in order to protect the firm and protect our customers, we had to limit buying in these stocks. And
isn't that the most hilarious thing you've ever seen? Like, this guy literally told us nothing, right? Like, I watched that. I was like, that's the biggest load of BS I've ever heard. Like, we got like obligations. Okay, clearinghouse requirements and deposits. Just throwing some random words in there, not being specific. Even though he said he's going to tell us the exact reason why, right? I feel like this is a case where I was just laughing my ass off. I was just like, he might as well just said, "Oh yeah, we stopped trading because my hair is long," because that's just as good of a reason as everything else that he's putting out, right? He's obviously making this up. I mean, I would have accepted, like, being in crypto for so long, we're always very suspicious of people, right? Like, that's the objective of analysis, right? You want to have your bullshit radar on, right? And this guy is just BSing through the roof, right? Like, this guy was just like, okay, he's got like a list of possible reasons, but he doesn't want to go specifically into it, and he doesn't even give anything specific. Like, if he wanted to tell the truth and said, okay, look, there are certain deposits that we need to meet. We need to have like $1 billion here, and we need to raise a capital for that, and have that amount deposit. That would be a good reason, right? But this is a clear cut case where he just lying straight to our face, right? Like, very likely he got a call from either investors, which was investors behind Robinhood, or he got a call from the SEC. But like, who does this, and who preemptively stops trades of like 12 stocks? Like, I'm so enraged. I'm not a Robinhood customer, and I'm enraged, right? I saw comments up here that literally, I was like, you should stop trading in Robinhood on principle alone, and I totally agree with that. Like there's no reason for that, right? Like this is just pushing the inequality to a higher level, and in many senses, this is why we need decentralized finance, right? So we don't have a centralized entity like this guy, Vlad, telling us, "Hey, yo, hey guys, yeah, you don't trade because I don't know what." He's not even giving a reason, right? It's just stupid. So definitely a huge amount of power in decentralized finance, where the coolest thing about Uniswap is that everyone has the same playing field, right? There's some, okay, I'm gonna put a caveat there. Obviously, there's some people who can find ways to kind of speed up a transaction by paying more gas, but everyone can replicate the same actions. The problem here with traditional finance and the way it's set up, and centralized finance is the way it's set up, is that some people would have a clear advantage, right? It's like you're going into this fight. If this was a fair fight, you're going into this fight with a blindfold on, right? They can limit your ability to trade, and to like, by Robinhood limiting people's ability to buy 12 stocks. They're essentially saying, okay, you can't choose to punish the institutional investors, right? If this was a situation where some institutional investors were out of position, they were overly aggressive, you can't, oh no, you can't punish them. We were paid off, it's okay. How does it even make sense, right? With Ethereum, that will never happen, right? When you're running on a decentralized network, when you're trading on Uniswap, that will never ever happen, because the network will always obey the network, right? That's the power of it. So definitely a lot. But obviously, of course, I do have a quick caveat here. There's still a lot of people who try to take advantage of certain ways that Ethereum works. And I feel like there's still a lot of innovation that we have here that needs to be done, especially in terms of kind of how to prevent front running and how to give people a more level playing field. I think there's still optimizations there. And what we're seeing with the whole crypto side of things is that crypto is aggressively improving like this, like it's an upward trend. But traditional centralized finance is just going down like that. That's kind of the biggest difference, anyways, going in. Now, we got a lot of people talking about Doge, and buying Doge, and obviously stuff like that. Like for me, obviously, it's another situation where I feel like it's up 400%. I don't have much Doge exposure right now. It's definitely not something I do have. And will I buy more at this current point? I would say no. Like personally, I'm not. It's like it's a situation where you watch a rocket fly past, and you're just like, you know what, congratulations. I think, yeah, I'm not that sort of trader where I try to make all my money in a day, right? It's a situation where there's a lot of risks involved, and I feel like that risk is greater than what I can handle at this current point. So unfortunately, yeah, I'm not entering that sort of position. I'm not taking positions against or for Doge at this current point. I feel like it's just not for me, especially if I'm making videos or something. I definitely don't want to. Yeah, this is not a trade for me, and that's something I've identified in the past. I mean, um, something I force myself to do, right, is to just kind of go down the pages here, and go to like page 3 on CoinGecko and look at past 24 hours. You're bound to see some insanity going on, right? Dodo, MX token, and FTX or Harvest, and they're all moving, right? There's gonna be, like, the point I'm trying to make is that there's always gonna be a rocket ship in crypto every single day, right? And FOMO is not your friend, right? Fear of missing out is not your friend in this case. And I definitely feel like, yeah, I could have spotted the Dogecoin opportunity there, but I didn't. So, congrats to everyone who is currently holding Doge. But yeah, I'm just looking for the next opportunity for myself, and yeah, it's been doing pretty well so far too. So yeah, that's kind of my take on everything right now. I do want to say that there's a lot of lessons from Doge as well. I feel like the ability to meme something is such a high priority right now, and that's something that I definitely am incorporating into my kind of analysis, which is like, how should something present themselves, right? How do you break down a message? And I feel like that's a big barrier that a lot of companies do. I mean, I've done a lot of interviews, I've done a lot of chats with people, and a lot of the ideas that they do and have are amazing, but a lot of times they're not catchy, right? And I feel like that's something super good about Doge. I mean, who doesn't like Doge, right? Come on. So yeah, it's up for 700% today. Yeah, it's kind of insane, right? I mean, obviously this is living off hype, and everyone's joining that bandwagon right now. So yet again, I'm definitely eyeing the situation, but I'm not buying it. It's like, yeah, that's my strategy. I almost never ever buy on the top, right? When something's up like 700%, I'm like, okay, you know what? Either wait for the pullback, right? Wait for the dump a little bit, and then enter my position if I feel like there's value there, or I'm gonna be um getting there. So, anyways, meme task business plan, meme task force team. Market's having a downturn. Sell Doge at 24 cents. Wink, wink. 24? Really? I don't know, man. There's some big goals up here. So 100x happening, going to 20 cents. Everyone wants Doge to go to 25 cents. Things look crazy, check market. So yeah, so absolutely. All right, so let's see what's happening on the market right now. So there's definitely a lot of insanity, and it really does show also that there's a lot of room to grow, right? I mean, let me just look at GameStop very quickly to GME. Yeah, it's down to around 200 right now. That's insane, right? Like a dump of 44% in a day. That's insane. That's insane. I pretty much like I pretty much targeted that video at the perfect timing too. 300 something. I was telling you guys, I'm not entering that position, guys. No, no, thank you. No, thank you. Don't be the idiot at the top. Definitely look for the next one. So yeah, so ETH correction happening right now. Let's take a look at ETH. It's not really a correction. I kind of drew the support at around 1,000. I'm playing conservative right now. Let's take a look at the 1 minute mark. So we did have a dump here happening from 1336 to 1321, but it's not a really big correction. I mean, I'll put this at the noise level. I definitely see a lot more trading volume happening right now, and it could be the case that we're hunting. The reason why I put my bars very wide is because it's very easy for people to hunt. I mean, you see these very, very huge dumps, right, in crypto. Like, look at this one. Boom, that dump down, right? And then a slow recovery up. These people are trying to squeeze the long positions. So like squeezes can happen both ways, right? So with the GameStop, it was a short squeeze. People who are holding shorts, they got totally screwed over. There could be long squeezes too, and we see that like almost every day, right? So this is a very classic example of what can happen during a long squeeze, where people who are longing, who are holding the assets on leverage, they get totally wrecked over by the prices falling, right? So ETH dumped all the way down to 1,000. Like 1,000 would be where I would eye the situation. I mean, right now we're seeing the start of maybe like a very sharp decline, but it's not enough to trigger my alarm bells. Um, that's the kind of current thing. I feel like I'm still holding by my previous statement that I felt like the support that we saw at 1,200 is very strong, and I'm looking for where the strong supports are going before Chinese New Year, because I'm kind of looking at how much risk I need to expose myself during that time. I mean, obviously for me, I'm Chinese, so during that time, I'm obviously not going to trade as much, right? So for me, I'm actually a little bit more on the defensive side right now. I'm just looking like how much exposure should I have going into the holidays, and how much how much I should be exposed, because at the end of the day, I don't want to be looking at and trading every 3 seconds at family dinners, right? It doesn't make much sense on that front. Now, talking about the other coins, we got people talking about LINA. LINA is doing crazy well. It's something that I've talked about for some time, and it's doing very, very well. The wrong link. All right. So LINA was something that I kind of accumulated around 12 cents. So that was where my accumulation phase was. 12 cents. Then I kind of dropped, right, when it launched. I kind of accumulated around this area. All right, on the way down, it dropped to around 5 cents, and then now it's all the way at 3. Okay, so okay, all right. Let me revise that. So I accumulated at 1.2 cents, and now it's at 3.4 cents. All right, so that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense, because I'm missing a zero out for for the price. So yeah, so I accumulated around 1.2 cents. Now it's at 3.4 cents. It's been doing phenomenally well in the past few days as well alone. The other one that was doing super well, I just wanted to do a shout out for is Swissborg. Not Wing, Swissborg, I can't spell today. Swissborg. These guys are doing crazy. They're like up 40%. Yet again, it was one of those coins that people really asked me what the hell was going on. They had this insane rally, and then I took a look, and then I was like, wow, okay, look, they're doing some crazy good stuff with apps, bringing people into the cryptocurrency ecosystem. They're almost like the Coinbase of Europe, right? Like they don't operate in the US right now, but they operate Swissborg in Switzerland. They take people in Europe and also in Asia as well. So anyone who wants to get into crypto, if they're signing up for Swissborg, they basically get bank account transfers to go straight in. So it's like the Swiss bank of crypto, right? And then I saw that that was like that was a good play. That was a good play. It's like up like crazy amounts right now. I mean, I made a post about it. I'm gonna I made a post about it. It's kind of funny, right? Because a lot of YouTubers also love this, and then I think someone posted this funny comment, which is fuck, I can't even imagine the smug Martini guy, how smug Martini guy will be in the next video, because he's also a Swissborg holder, and it's been doing well. And I'm gonna have a giant smug face, right? It's punchable smug face on my face. That's gonna be fun. So yeah, I also covered it during my like medium bags video. So the medium bags are actually doing super well. I've been super happy. Box mining bags. Let me see if I can find that. Yeah, top coins for 2020, right? If you actually look at this video, I'm gonna have a giant smug face. This is where my smug face is gonna be at. Utrust, right? Doing super well. What was it? Swissborg doing super well. TrustSwap doing super well. Binance Coin, my man, I picked this up at like 18. Now it's like 40. Yeah, it's been doing super well. And I think Engine's there somewhere too. Was it Engine there? Synthetics. Yeah, Engine's there. Synthetics. Yeah. Yeah, that's why I'm pretty happy. I'm gonna stop being smug, because I hate smug faces too. Like I'm one of those guys. You're like, just keep it to yourself, dumbass. But that's just me. All right, guys. ZKS is going up crazy as well. Yes, absolutely. ZKS, that was such a fun play. I mean, that was an insane ride, right? Like I picked this up. I think I told you guys on Telegram. I picked this up around like 30 cents. Holy shit! Like it's at $1.80. I'm still holding. I'm not even like looking at it right now. Like I feel like it's one of those so it's scaling. Like it's a layer 2 exchange. Crazy. Tyler Heel says you're never smug. I try not to be smug, but sometimes I can't help myself. I cannot help myself. We got Paul C. Thank you so much for your donation. Box Mining, can you briefly go over Mask or Mask AI, decentralized node network? And recently it came out that Mark Cuban owns some. I haven't looked into it yet, so definitely I'll take a look. Thank you so much for a suggestion, Paul, and thank you so much for your donation. Thank you very much on that respect. So we also says Giovanni Torgessa says Injective is a very active man. I'm in Injective. I'm in Reef. Reef was doing well. Pancake is insane, right? Cake, it was one of those coins that I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go back into farming it. It's one of the coins that I felt like I can take some impermanent loss risk. So I bought some Cake. I started farming it at 200% APY at around 40 cents. It's $1.50 right now. That being said, of course, because Cake went up so much in price, it was actually better to just hodl it or put it into the Cake only pool rather than the BNB pool. So that's kind of what I did. I kind of readapted that strategy anyways. Lots going on here. Angel Vidaka says, where can I buy Dogecoins? Binance or FTX? In fact, I was kind of looking, I was eyeing FTX where the action is right now. So FTX has futures for Doge, which is kind of insane, right? So this is like, I was looking at this funding rate, which is kind of insane. So like why do I look at this, right? Why do I look at this? It Funding rates tell people usually where the traders, the big traders are betting, right? If you guys don't know about funding rates and what they mean and how it works, this gives you a lot of information and intelligence on uh, which side is having more trades, right? So if a negative funding rate means that that's shorts pay long if negative, and not only is it very negative, it's very high negative, right? It's like 0.29% per hour. I mean, think about it. Let me just copy this number down. FTX has funding rates every hour, so it's times 24 times 350 65. It's you're paying 2,000% APY, right, to short Doge. So it seems like the majority of crypto traders are willing to take to take a very high, almost like an interest. All right, I'm going to oversimplify this, but they're willing to pay that funding rate to short Doge. So I'll be very, very careful there. I was kind of looking at the magnitude of the funding rate. It just seems like there's a stack of bets. But obviously in crypto, you never know with these things, right? Crypto during a bull market like this, taking short positions would be not unwise. It'll be very, very unwise. Yeah. But yeah, FTX has a lot of power here. So like if you want full on power, FTX is where you want to be. Or if you want to be able to trade in a hodl, Binance is kind of where you are. DJ Manox is shorters wrecked. I think the shorters really stacked up during this wave up though. I think a lot of short traders really stacked up here. If you look at it, you can kind of see where people stack up their shorts and longs by looking at where the price of perpetuals are relative to the price of the asset, right? So here you can see the perpetuals are like way below what the current market's trading it at, right? So they're not only willing to pay this funding rate, but they're also willing to pay way below market price. Oh, is it below market price? Let me just check. Okay, maybe not. Okay, I'm wrong there. Why is it here? Let me get this right. Let me just see what the price for Binance will trade that. Man, the oracles are not working today. Yeah, okay, that makes sense now. All right, that makes sense. So I'm just confirming these numbers because for some reason CoinMarketCap is out. CoinGecko is out of date here. It's lagging behind. So look at the Binance price, right? The Doge USDT price, that's for Binance, is trading at 7.2 cents. But whilst on FTX perpetual futures, it's trading at 6.6 cents. So traders are willing to short this at a lower price and paying expensive funding rates because they think it's going down. It's kind of interesting. It's kind of interesting to see where the bets are at this current point. This is going to be an intense war. Like I can definitely see this happening, and I can see like big money on both sides just like trying to screw each other over. And this is like the craziest part about crypto, right? It's not only just about the small people, the big people. Everyone's in this. They're at the sidelines. They're making these huge bets. Yeah, I'm not involved. I'm at the sidelines just watching. Okay, that's me. I'm not gonna make any comments. I don't have my own position. This is not for me. It's not for me right now. But yeah, Doge is taking quite a show here. But it's insane, right? The willingness of people wanting to take to bet down is kind of crazy. It's insane. It's insane. Like, yeah, I'm gonna say that. So we'll have to see. We'll see who gets wrecked. Crypto people, big whales are moving both sides to try to wreck each other. I think this is gonna be insane. Rocketon's 1122 says Elon will cash out. Look at the chart. I don't even think Elon owns any Doge, right? Like he just took that title for fun. He's just trolling hard, right? I don't think he actually owns that much Doge, to be honest. I think he's not actually very good at buying large quantities, right? I think in one of his recent posts, he was actually asking people like, "Oh, can I liquidate like billions of dollars worth of cryptocurrencies?" He's actually like he hasn't moved his war chest over at all, right? He hasn't you know. I just totally screwed up my computer, but anyways, give me 1 second, guys. All right, is it back? It's back. All right, yeah, I just lost one of my screens here to view stuff, but yeah, that's very, very, very interesting. Very cool to watch on the sidelines. I think America's sleeping soon at the same time as well. I think yeah, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. I think America is gonna sleep soon, which is why there's such a huge discrepancy between the perpetual future price and the current price. And I think that's interesting. I'm thinking if I should take a position up now, but not during a live stream. Where did he go? I'm here. I'm back. I was just trying to fix my monitor up for a sec, but yeah, let me see if this still works. Yep, this is still working. But anyways, I think that's pretty much it for today's episode. There was a lot of action. It was very fun. It was very fun chatting with you guys. Let's do like 5 minutes of Q&A. I think that's gonna be super fun. I'm also gonna set up the next stream. So guys, smash up those likes. Really appreciate you guys all coming in and chatting with me. We've got over 1,000 people again. It's insane, guys. This is like a crazy time, and I definitely see huge potential for the future. So guys, definitely appreciate it. Let me go and set up the stream for next time. So it will be a Monday 11 a.m. Hong Kong time. Let me schedule that right now. Altcoin season. I think altcoin season is gonna come next week. I'm gonna reuse the image from altcoin season. So it'll be Monday. I'll say cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Ethereum, GME update. I put Doge update. All right, and I'm gonna make that a video. Let's see. Altcoins next. I definitely see altcoins coming into some space. I think recently I've been doing a lot more research on altcoins too. Not sure if you guys are into this, but Clubhouse is becoming very popular for people to hang out and chat. So it's like a chat only platform. I'm not trying to shill it. I'm just trying to see if we can organize our community there. If there's interest in that too. It's like it's an app that you have on your phone. It's only iPhone only, and you can join other people's rooms. So it's like I think like this is something perfect for during the pandemic. So we have like a DeFi wake up wrap up chat. We have like these various chats that goes on, and people can chat with voice only. So I mean, if you guys are interested, tell me. I can set up like I guess the hard part of getting into Clubhouse right now is that people need invites for it. So it's almost like the Facebook kind of style, the original Facebook style where you can't just sign up for it. You got to have an invite, right? So we have to set up our own like invite database and invite our own people. But anyways, it's gonna be crazy. So yeah, Clubhouse is dope. I hope to set up some rooms there for us to chat together with voice. The way I kind of see it right now is I was introduced to this by Mike. So Mike from DeFi.io, he introduced me to Clubhouse, and Amanda as well. They're like both just get on Clubhouse, and I got on, and it's like what I'm doing now is like during my spare time, I just kind of put it on in the background, and it's like I just hear people talk, right? It's almost like the radio. Kind of going back in those days. It's kind of overhearing someone's conversation, and sometimes they're good, sometimes they're not, but it's overall quite a kind of fun. So anyways, tell me guys if you want Clubhouse. We can set up like an invite network and just invite everyone on and just share that information. But that's gonna be fun. We got Jason McCarthy says, why ETH not pumping? I would actually say that a lot of traders, especially in Asia, are cautious of Chinese New Year, right? Because of the dumps that happened in the past, they're cautious to see where the supports are and where we can go. And, I feel like that's kind of the biggest barrier to Ethereum moving up and exploring beyond that. But once Chinese New Year approaches, and if ETH prices hold very strong, I can see a lot of potential for ETH after that fear is over, right? After the fear period is over, once that event passed. And this is something that we also saw during both New Year, Christmas, and Thanksgiving. So right before the holidays, we saw the prices dip a bit, but it didn't dip aggressive, right? The support was super strong. And then after the holiday, boom, everything went up because it was post-holiday, right? Everyone's rejoicing, coming back, learning more about crypto. And I can almost see that same thing happening, right? People go back in China, they have their Chinese New Year celebrations, they talk to their family, what did they buy Bitcoin? Maybe. That's a possibility. And then that shoots up aggressively. So I feel like that's a cloud looming overhead right now for crypto, is Chinese New Year and tax season in the US. These two factors just kind of coalesce every single year around this time. And then afterwards, it can either go up crazy or it can crash to oblivion. That's the kind of crazy part. Alejandro Busnink. Sorry, I butcher people's name, but it's a bull year this year too. So Chinese are quite superstitious people, but yeah, this year is a year of the bull. So yeah, my hopes are up. So anyways, we got Mike Marlex says Doge starting to go down. Not really, right? Doge is not going down at all, man. Doge is going up. Look at that. Look at that. It's at 81 cents right now. It's whew, yeah, short sellers, they're not in a very good position right now. Yeah, it's crypto too. I think crypto is something I learned is you should never short something during like a bull run, like an altcoin bull run like this. Like Doge by itself, I feel like, what's next, right? Altcoins for sure, right? Like if Doge moves up 800%, right? The next play would definitely be other alts, right? People will be like, oh, what's the next Doge, right? That's gonna be interesting. That's gonna be interesting. Maybe you're Ripples or something like that. Maybe I'll be like your Ripples, your Trons. I don't know. We'll have to see. I have to think about this. But yeah, it's not going down at all. Like it's, this market's gonna surprise you. The market's gonna surprise you. It's that's my rule, which is I never take a short during a period like this, like unless you got a lot of money. We got DJ Manox says, what are your thoughts on Swissborg, please? I think I've been telling you guys this. Watch my top coins video 2020. Like, that's when I got into Swissborg because I thought, or a little bit before that, obviously, right? Because I did my research and everything prior to that. But Swissborg, they're basically like almost like a Coinbase, right? Like they're like a huge entry point for a lot of people to come into crypto. They're doing this stuff right. I've done all my KYCs. I have the account. They're also doing yield farming on it. I think they're really next level. Very, very strong team. Obviously, they're at a high right now, so obviously you have to be cautious because everyone's FOMOing into Swissborg right now. But I'm very glad I have it. I'm holding quite a big bag of Swissborg, and yeah, that's that's it. Anyways, guys. Dogecoin fork soon. Anyways, how do you short? Zabiso Nikito says, how do you short? FTX. FTX is where you short. You get perpetual futures and you just go to sell. You ramp up whatever you want here, and then you can short. So you can either buy or sell if you're on perpetual. So even if you have no Doge, right? That's the power of perpetual futures. Even if you have no Doge, you can take up a position on short. But I'm definitely not doing that at this current point. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Been a huge, great day. Smash up those likes. Really appreciate it. Smash up those likes. Mike Marlex says, ZKS thoughts, please. Please check my video. Please search the video on ZKSwap. I did that around a week ago. I'm holding my position. I'm still not selling that position. It's one of those situations where like, I knew it was good. I bought what I wanted, and I was waiting for an opportunity to buy a bit more because, yeah, but I didn't manage to. I was like, kind of like, that's my disappointment with ZKS, where I was like, oh man, I should have bought more. Like I have some, but boy, could I have like bought a lot more. Like that was stupid. Your thoughts on Reef, please. I'm still holding my Reef. I have a huge chunk of Reef actually. I'm happy that like there was a period when it didn't do such a good launch on Binance, because when it launched on Binance, it traded very high because it was very low liquidity, right? Then once the liquidity got injected, it moved straight back up again, and the project is doing super strong. Like Denko is great. Like of all the people, like just check the interviews. Like you'll see who does well, who doesn't. Like Denko is super strong there. So there you go. Glenbert Juliana says, I'm back. Welcome back. We're just at the end of this chat. Glenbert Juliana, she asked, what did I miss? You missed everything. You missed all the alpha. I'm just joking. But anyways, Happy New Year, guys. Says Jason McCarthy. It's coming up soon. I've tried to answer you guys to the best of my knowledge. Thank you guys so much for watching this show. I really hope you guys can smash the like button. Also, we covered a lot of deeper aspects that people are wondering, what are funding rates? I do have to do this slight push here. So I made a few special episodes for people that are part of the Box My member community. So this is for members of this channel, and we directly cover the funding rates. It's not a very big, let me just show you the video here. It's not a members only video. We did funding rates part 1 and part 2, funding rates explained. These are 2 very, very powerful videos. They're for members only. Something that I found, and I'm experimenting with this, right, where I'm trying to cover deeper subjects during member only videos, because I don't have to worry about pacing, right? For YouTube public videos, we actually have to worry about pacing, because YouTube algorithm is like, oh, you must make sure that these people get entertained, right? So the videos here are optimized for entertainment, but videos on members only videos are optimized for educational content, like actual value. So guys, do check it out. To get access to those videos, it's like a $2 subscription. I know, like, I don't want to be one of those people that sell courses. I think that's not what I want to do. This is more like a thank you and for our community thing. It's just $2. I'm not going to charge like $1,500 or something like stupid for that. Like, that's not retarded. But anyways, this is just something for members, for people who really support this channel. A big thank you to you guys. And also, it makes my life a little bit easier to make content I don't have to be entertaining. I'm not a very entertaining person. So yeah, I thought that was just easier for me to make. Anyways, check that out if you're interested. I'm still gauging interest on it. So yeah, if you guys want to become a member, check it out. It's for like $2 or like $14 in Hong Kong if you're in Hong Kong. Yeah, tell me, give me a lot of feedback for that. Like, I really appreciate the feedback. I want to see if this is good, bad. Should I keep doing it? Should I not? I mean, anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one, and stay awesome. And with that, guys, peace out. Peace out, guys. I'd like to take the time now to tell you a little bit about everything that's happening in the box mining ecosystem. First and foremost, if you guys like listening to all that's happening in crypto on the go, then I would highly recommend you checking out the Box Mining Bitcoin Out of the Box podcast. And the reason why it's called Bitcoin Out of the Box is because we have long interview segments very much exploring the detail of the newest and latest of what's going on in this whole cryptocurrency space. Whole idea of it is to bridge that gap between knowledge privileged institutional investors and the rest of us here in this space. Now, with the podcast, it's on everything. So it's on Apple Podcasts, it's on Google Podcasts, it's on Spotify. Just search it anywhere, Bitcoin Out of the Box. So just add that onto a playlist and then just follow the new episodes when it's released. Next up, we also have the Box Mining newsletter. So this happens roughly bi-weekly. We give you an update of the latest that's going on in a very summarized, condensed format. So this is perfect for anyone that wants an overview of the market. Say, for example, what's happening with OKX, the biggest event, or maybe the little things like what's happening with different coins and overall the trend. So what I use the newsletter for personally myself is to understand what kind of phase we're in crypto, to kind of get in tune. So if you don't read crypto every day, the newsletter is perfect for you. Last but not least, in the link down below, if you're a Telegram user, we have the Box Mining announcements channel. So this is to announce to you basically what's the latest videos coming up, but also we have a daily update, a community-driven daily update to provide you an idea of the latest updates on a day. And a lot of people have been using that to get informed of the crazy amounts of trends that we see. And I have to give a big thank you for Claudio, our community member, for doing this. It's just been phenomenal. Definitely want to give you a shout out there, Claudio, as well for that. And taking us to the end of the live stream, so make sure, number one, you click like and subscribe on this video because it really does help this channel. And then, of course, check out the podcast. It's one of the best ways to know a little bit more, to extend that knowledge, especially in your spare time. And then, of course, check out the newsletter. If you're, if you want those updates and summaries and trends, newsletter is the place for you. And with that, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you have a good one. See you in the next video.